I am so excited. Go let some folks hop on. My name is Amanda, Simply Flamazing Art, and I am so excited for today because we are doing the calendar piece for February. And, we did January's calendar piece, which is right there. You can go back and find that. And today we're doing February's calendar piece. And I put a post out that had like several different pictures. And I was like, vote, which one do you want? Well, let me just say, we had one who like made it by a landslide. And when I say landslide, I mean like 100 to like, I don't know, 3 or 4. But we're doing the piglets today. And so we're going to change it slightly. We're going to have a heart wreath. Our little piglets are going to be more in front of the wreath rather than behind the wreath because we want to showcase the piglets and not necessarily the wreath. And so, so we're going to change it just slightly. Of course, we got to make it our own. This is going to be a large inspiration though. And so, I don't know who took this picture. I don't believe it was a painting. I don't know. I found it somewhere. I don't even know where I found it, but I was like, that's just super cute. And but anyway, I had found it sometime back and I had like snapshot a picture on my phone and I was scrolling through looking for some inspiration and found it when I was looking for the February piece. And I was like, well, I'll just throw this one in, not even having any idea that this would be the one that like took off like a rocket, right? I was kind of thinking maybe the little squirrel would, or maybe the covered bridge would, but this is the one that like everyone was like loving on. So anyway, hi Brenda. Hey Dee, thank you for sprinkling the love. Hey Kathy, how are you? And sprinkle the love and you get entered for a prize pack. And so good morning. Yes. Oh, we had all kind of excitement here a half hour ago, and I hope it doesn't happen while I'm live because it's gonna be like wild up in here if it does. So my neighbors, both my neighbors on both sides have dogs. Lola is a little I don't know, she's mixed. She's got a little like Staffordshire Terrier in her and a little bit of, I don't know, Heinz 57 variety. She's super duper sweet. But she comes over here sometimes and like runs around in our backyard. And of course, Kai goes crazy. Well, today it wasn't just Lola, it was the big boy from the other side of me, my other neighbor who was with her, and they were having like a field day, and Kai was inside throwing the biggest fit because he wanted to have a field day with them. Sunny, Illinois, it's sunny here too. Oh, Brenda, thank you for sprinkling the love. If you're new to me, say hi, hang out with me, have some fun painting. We're going to be painting the February calendar piece, which is this piece. There is a link. There's a post that has a link in the comments. I meant to copy that and I forgot. Where you can get the tracer. It's $3 for the tracer and supply list. The tracer is not available yet because the tracer doesn't exist yet because I haven't painted the piece yet. So, but as soon as the painting's done, you'll have a supply list, a tracer, and all of that as soon as, because I pull my tracers from the painting. So I know it's exactly as it is painted because, this is, like I said, our inspiration piece. It's going to be different than this. It's going to be a lot same, but different. Our pigs are going to have a showcase. So they're going to be more up front of the wreath than behind the wreath. And so like in this picture, they're behind the wreath. They're going to be more showcased up front of the wreath. And so you'll see a little more of their face. We're going to build that out just a little bit. They're still going to be both poking their head through. They might be slightly different colors. So we're going to change it up a little bit, but only slightly. We got to make it our own. But that's, hey, Laura, how are you? So, oh, Lordy, I hear him barking. The dogs might be back. I don't know. Or he thinks they're back. He probably hears me talking and thinks I'm talking to somebody who he needs to bark. But anyway, he'll settle. All right, so I do have a couple of different tracing papers just because I'm not sure what our background color, which one will work best with it, but we're going to start on the background and then we'll worry about everything else in a little bit, okay? But this is our inspiration piece and we'll get us turned down and I'm going to get us started. Oh, thank you so much, Brenda, for posting that link. Let's see if I can pin it. I don't know. Whoops, apparently not. I just went to the link. Hold on. Let's see. There's a way to pin these. Well, my big thumb doesn't help here. Pin comment. There we go. Thank you, Brenda, so much. Hey, Cindy, thank you for sprinkling the love. Thank you, Laura, for sprinkling the love. Get your names entered in. I am so excited about this piece. I don't know. It's just been so much fun seeing the votes. I think we're going to do this every month and just like get the votes. So, because it has been so fun just seeing like all of the ones, but if you want the tracer, you can click that. It's not available yet, but as soon as it's available, which will be later today after I have pulled the tracer from the painting, it will be emailed to you, the download. And so you will have that digitally downloadable file that has the tracer, the supply list, links to this video, all of that will be in there. So I'm gonna get us turned down. Oof, I'm all scatterbrained. We've had, no, I'm not gonna get us turned down because I don't have it hooked in. That's the one thing I said when I brought my computer down, like remember to hook it in. But about the time I got down here, got everything sort of started, all of the blow up happened with the dogs next door and Kai throwing a major fit. It's like, come on, guys, work with me here. Like, I love your dogs, but keep them in your own yard. Keep them in your own yard so mine doesn't throw a fit. My dog doesn't come over to your yard. Keep your dogs in your own yard. Anyway, I love them, so it's okay. But all right, let me get this focused. There we go. Looking better. Looking better. And now I can zoom it in. Still not quite focused enough. Let's see here. There we go. Still a little blurry. Hold on. We gonna get, whoops. So this is when I can't, this is when I want it to do this little bit of a movement and I can't get it to stop that to focus. There we go. Now we're in focus mode. There we go. All right. All right, so that's our piece. It does look a little fuzzy, but this is blown up a little bit. So hopefully this doesn't look too fuzzy. Let's see. That's not too bad, I don't guess. I gotta remember when I focused this thing, Cindy was like, get your hand out of it. And I can't remember past my brain cells. Okay, so for some paints, for calendar pieces, I'm really sticking to some of the golden and liquid text, heavier bodied acrylics, just because I want that pigmentation, because we're going to be taking a picture of it. We're going to be uploading it. So we really want it to be like intense. So I've got some yellow ochre. I've got Mars Black. I've got Naphtha Crimson. I've got some primary yellow. I have some phthalo green. I have burnt umber. I also have some hooker's green. Now you can mix for greens. You can mix for all your colors. We're not doing that today. I have some Alizarin crimson. I have some Payne's gray. I have a little phthalo blue. I don't know how much of that we're going to even use, or Prussian blue. Sorry. I also have phthalo blue. I don't know how much blues we're going to use. Probably minimum, if any. And then titanium white. I'm out of my golden titanium white. And so in my Liquitex white. So we are just going to substitute that with some Master's Touch. It's going to be just fine. And if you don't have these paints, don't go and buy them. Use the reds, the yellows, the greens that you have. And it's going to be just fine. These are pretty expensive. And if you don't already have them and you're not like looking to get into this line, then just don't go buy them. Okay. Because it is a little bit on the pricier side. So for my background, I kind of really love this yellow and muted yellow green mixture they have going on. And of course down here is kind of darker green. So I think that's what we're going to kind of play on. We're going to do this kind of muted look. And for that, I'm going to use some sponges. I do hang my paints. So I have a rod. And for my tube paints, I get these off of Amazon, a big old box, and I just clip them on and hang them up. And so I do hang them. And they all just fall over when I stand them up on their ends. So anyway. I know, Cindy, I can't get it straight. You know me. I'm I'm a special needs case. And so we're just gonna set that right there for a minute until we can get all of this. The hangers work great, especially if you have tube paints. I mean, they work great on these. I need to get some more hangers. I'm out. I also use them, although I've been taking them off of those, my beads. I hang my beads with them. But because the top is part of what comes off to empty the thing, you have to tape the tops. If you don't, just know if you bump them too hard, the whole tube falls off and you have beads all over the floor. Don't ask me how I know that. Don't ask me how I know this because I just do. All right, so I'm gonna put a little yellow. I'm definitely gonna have a lot of white. So I'm just gonna put a little white down actually on my canvas because we want this to be very light, our background. We do not want this to be very dark. And so I'm gonna actually use a little bit of phthalo green also. I'm thinking maybe, no, I think I'm gonna actually go with a little bit of, not the phthalo, but the hookers. Phthalo green has just a teeny bit of blue in it. So it kind of leans more to the blue-green side. Hookers is a little more of like true, kind of like middle of the road green. Actually, it's kind of a darker green, but it's more mid green color. So when it mixes in light, we're gonna get that like springy green color, not a bluey green color. And so I'm gonna work with these two first. It's gonna be a little darker green at this bottom down here, and then it's gonna go a little bit lighter. So I'm just gonna work this white onto my canvas. And yes, I'm using a sponge for this because it doesn't really matter. And I want it to be, I want to be able to use a little water and lighten and darken in spots. And so I want to get this white all over my canvas. I'm kind of working a little fast here because I don't want this to start drying before I'm coming in with these other colors. And I'm going to come in with just a little bit of green. And now you can see how we're just getting And I can go lighter by just rubbing it harder, pushing it a little more. I just kind of want that really muted color going. I'm gonna grab a little yellow. And I'm just gonna overlap. But we kind of just want this like kind of faded out looking background. This is kind of a great way to do it. The sponges work really nice in getting this effect. And so you can pick up and put down. If you want to mute it out a little more, just add that white back in that you used to start with. Okay, then I'm gonna come in a little darker down in here. This is going to be my grass and all of that. So I kind of want this to be just a little bit darker. Okay. What y'all think? Hopefully it's looking good. Today is the 18th. Yes, it is. Did I say the 19th or something? Yes, it is the 18th. It's hard to believe, like it's the 18th of February already. Now I'm going to dry this really good because I want this to be dry before I put my tracing paper on. Oh, crap of that. It does say the 19th. Look, that's because I had accidentally put the 19th. And then I went back and changed it on the thing, but it doesn't change the URL. So you write the word link in there and it's gonna send you all my links. That's my little automation going on because I'm fancy. So it's the 18th. It is the 18th. The thing says the 18th when you click on it. It just the link says the 19th because it creates the link based on your initial product creation. And it's not smart enough to change it when you change the name of the link of the product. But if you're in my private group, you don't need to buy the tracer because you will be given the tracer. And the tracer will be created right after this live. Oh, well, congratulations, Cindy. Gonna be a grandma. Yay. Hopefully it won't be that late, but I don't know what time this afternoon is. So if you have to leave, the replay is always going to be here. And you can always come back for the replay. But congratulations on being a grandma. Is this grandma number one, grandbaby number one, or grandbaby number whatever one? I have two grandbabies. Are they not really babies anymore? One is 17 and one is 12, going on 22. She's precious. But that's where you kind of forget she's 12 though. You're like, dang, growing up too fast. Teenager next year. No, wait a minute. She's 13. No, that's right. She's 12. I have lost my mind. There's 5 years difference between them. I tell you, I think I said you have a tough time. You're like, wait a minute. I don't want to age her too quick. They're already aging fast enough. We have a 15-year-old grandson also. The other girls are in no hurry. I understand that. I understand that. Well, I claim him as mine, my son. He actually is not mine. I did not have him. He has a mother, but there's a long story there. And a really long story. And so but so I claim him as mine. No disrespect to her, but she did that all on her own. Nothing all on her own. It was her choice not to have him in her life. And so, but it was my choice to have him in my life. So I claim him. And they're his children, but there's an age difference between me and my husband. So that was a former life of his. All right. So I'm gonna put the heart wreath on first because I just kind of want to, we're not going to do a whole lot with it, but I just kind of want to get that on. Although part of me is like, maybe I did print a bigger picture because I want my little heads to be a little bit bigger. So maybe we get that on first. Yeah, let's just get an outline of them. They're going to be in front of, and so I've got to figure out the ears and like how much of the body is going to be showing. But I think basically we're going to just round out their little faces and have that on top of the thing. So I think maybe the best thing to do is let's just trace that out because I want to make my life easy. I could draw it, but that would be a lot of drawing and a lot of erasing to get it right. And so I think let's just get them on where we want them, centered, of course. And let's see, I want to make room for, although the heart's going to be kind of behind them. So I'm pretty happy with that. Well, there is I'm old enough. I am actually old enough. I've said my age before. I'm 52. And so, well, we'll be 52 in April. I'm aging myself like major. It's only because I'm kind of excited because I want to do a big thing on my page for my birthday. And so I've been thinking about it, like a big old birthday bash on my page. And so lots and lots of giveaways and lots of fun I want to have on there for my birthday. That's gonna be my birthday gift to myself. Just having fun with you guys. And so we're gonna put all of this, we're gonna figure out all of this part in front of here. We'll figure out that as we're painting. I'm not gonna stress that part. I really just kind of want to get the eyes and the nose. Like that's my main like concern with these piglets is just like getting that part. Her little foot is going to be sticking out just kind of like it was in the thing. And we'll just finish out that ear. We'll make that up. But so we'll make up this part here too. We'll just do like that. So we kind of just know, but we'll make up that part. So really, that's all I care about. It's just like that portion. I'm going to just do this and kind of separate there. So I kind of know where that separation is a little bit. But other than that, that's all we're going to do. Make life easy for us. Hey Sarita, how are you? We're gonna get that out the way. So now we can figure out, now that we have that, we can come in with the browns and we can get our heart in and kind of do some stuff. And then when we put our pigs on top of that, when we round it out, it'll be on top. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. I'm gonna use a little bit of burnt umber. And I've got my yellow and I've got my green. So tell me how y'all doing on this beautiful Saturday morning. Tell me, is it beautiful where you are? Kathy said it was sunny in Illinois. It is a beautiful sunshiny day here. It was a little chilly this morning. It was 29 degrees, which is not terrible for winter, but seeing as we've been like kind of have days in the 70s here lately, it's like, ooh, this is a little chilly. Today's supposed to reach 50 something, so it won't be too bad. So I was talking to my mom earlier. We usually talk every morning, and she was saying how she needed to get outside and do some work outside today. And I'm like, hey, you and me both. You and me both. I'm gonna use just a little water. And I'm going to use my angle brush. Y'all know I'm crazy about angle brushes. I love them. They are my favorite brush, hands down. I'm using the Paint Pixie Artist brushes. They are the turquoise iris brushes. I really am enjoying these brushes. And so we won't see all of the heart, but what I want to make sure we see is that it looks like a heart. And so I want to make sure we capture that part, that it looks like a heart. Now this is going to be like down behind our piglets, because their piglets are going to be in front of. So we're just going to start to capture where all of these little vines. I don't know if I have the right brush for this or if I need to go to my regular liner brush. But we have all of these little vines. And I just want to kind of get the heart sort of on there. This is the inside, the closest side to them will build out from here, if that makes sense. And so again, we're just gonna come kind of close to, but have a little space because we're gonna put our pigs on top. It's 25 and sunny. High today, 45. Cloudy here and 69. It's cold here, but I like it that way. You like it cold? Yeah. But you get pretty hot there in the summertime. So being in Texas, it's pretty hot. Like in my mind's eye, it's really hard when I hear of like Texas being cold and you're like, it's cold. And I'm like, but you're in Texas. Like it's supposed to be hot there. Like we're just gonna keep on adding some vines, okay? Because it's kind of like just a twig old wreath that's been created. Well, a little debris. Guess you where you fell off of. Guess you fell off my finger. We're just gonna just kind of, you know, in and out. If you have little starts and stops, it's okay, because the wreath has those. And so, but we're just creating like a grapevine, sort of looking like twig, whatever you call it, wreath. Just quick, you know, strokes. We want to keep the heart shape, but other than that, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it does get cold there. I remember that, and the folks' pipes were freezing, and it was terrible. Um, had houses that were like, I saw pictures that had like ice coming down from the ceiling of like inside the house, and it was just like, oh my God. I'm like, I think if I saw that in my house, I think I would just be like, I don't even know how to fix that. Like, I don't even know how to fix it. Like, I don't even know how to go about fixing something like that. And I'm pretty handy around the house. Like, I can do a lot, but um, because of course my husband is very handy around the house, and so we built this house, and mainly him and his contractor friend, but I helped a lot. I didn't necessarily know what I was doing, but they told me what to do, and I could follow the directions a little bit and do it. I put in most all the lights and all the light switches in this house. Okay, so we got our wreath in. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you have made it as cold as it is and not have heat. I think I would have been like, we're gonna just build a little fireplace. We're gonna build a little area where we can burn something and have a little heat. I don't know how you have done that, girlfriend. You're tough. I can stand a lot. So glad it's not raining. Yes, you and me both, Sherry. You and me both. You don't even want to know how glad I am it's not raining and that it's drying up. And Kai and I, we will be happy. Yes, it's why I am such a live wire. I probably shocked myself a few times. You only do that once before you really realize, wait a minute, it's important to cut the power off. It's important to remember to cut the power off. It's also important to have it labeled what is what. I was doing some work down at my great aunt's house, and you know, well, let's just say we thought we had cut the power off and we did not. And gave myself a nice little shock. So it's okay. It didn't kill me. What do they say? What doesn't kill you just makes you stronger, right? I'm gonna grab a little bit of black. Yeah, me too. Me too, Sherry. Remind me, where are you, Sherry? Where are you located? Golden, I love you, but I hate your tops. With a passion, I hate your tops. All right, Wonder Woman strength here. Don't break the top like I did last time. Dang, come on now. Come on, Black, I need you. Oh, you're just gonna be hard to deal with. You're in Pennsylvania. That's right. I was thinking you were the one who was like close to me. Yeah, you're like an hour away from me. All right. All right. Just have it your way, Mars Black. Have it your way. You won. I will replace you. All right. For now, we will just Forget that. And I will use a little bit of Payne's Gray. See, Payne's Gray behaved itself and opened up Mars Black, so you just be all jealous. You are replaceable. Yes, I talk to things that I know doesn't talk back and doesn't know and doesn't hear and has no ears and doesn't care, but it makes me feel better to tell it off. So there, when it doesn't want to work with me and give me what I want. I just want to put a little bit of dark in here. You can use black. If you can get your black open, use your black. But every now and then, you know, we have to know who's boss. Just want to put some dark marks. There's no rhyme or reason where I'm putting these. So don't be like, oh, well, she put it there and there and there. I'm really not calculating where I'm putting this because we're going to put stuff on top of this. And so, but you know, you need a little bit of color variation just so it all plays nicely together. And so you want to have that in there. Just a little bit. Oh, cool. Cool, Cindy. Your other half is headed to Charlottesville this afternoon. Awesome. Someday we should do lunch. That would be fun. There's a cool store that I want to go to. Well, I think it's cool. It's like a consignment shop, I think, in Spotsylvania. I have to look up the name of it. It's called like Deep. I think I got this right. I don't know. That's why it's like I need to look up the name. It's called like Deep Creek Vintage or something like that. It's in I think their address is Fredericksburg, but you know, Spotsylvania covers a lot of Fredericksburg, so pretty much is. I've been wanting to go there for a while. They have a couple. They have one in Culpeper too, I believe, up there also. Oh, his mom's at rehab. Well, I'm sorry. Hopefully she's doing all right. That makes it tough when you're at, you know, that part, even though it's only like an hour, it still is tough to have to drive back and forth. Okay, we're going to use some Napathol Crimson and some Alizarin Crimson. I'm going to put them out on my palette plate. Again, if you don't have these colors, use what colors you have. So a really great red in a deco art is my favorite red is Santa Red. And they do have I think they have an Alizarin Crimson. Alizarin Crimson is really translucent, but it really helps when you want to darken the reds. It's really great for that. And so we're going to just, I think I just rubbed like white paint all over my nose. So when I turn up, if I got white paint smeared across my nose, just don't laugh, okay? Or you can laugh. That's okay. I can't see you or hear you, so you can laugh. A little bit of water. I use a little water with these paints because they aren't so heavy bodied. And I like flow because I'm used to using kind of a little more paint that has a little more flow in it. And we're going to just put some of our berries, the ones that are going to be closest to our thing. We'll come back before we're done, closest to our pigs, not our thing. But we're just going to get some of these in because we just want to have them in there. We don't want it to look like we want it to look like it's organic, right? And not necessarily just like, okay, well, you painted these pigs and then you put a heart around them. You kind of want it to be there when we have the pigs in, and that way the pigs just cover up what they cover up. We're just doing circles. If you want to use the back of your brush to do these, you can. We're just doing little berries. You can do some bigger, some larger, some whatever. It doesn't matter. Don't stress the small stuff. That's what I always say. Like, this is small stuff. Don't stress it. We're just gonna put a whole bunch, all different sizes, some big, some small. We'll worry about putting detail on these after we get our circles on. Right now, we're just base coating circles. And I actually might pull a tracer of this and then pull a tracer of the pigs, because the pigs are going to cover up these. But really, you know, this part here, let it be organic. Just let it be, follow the steps, but just put your circles where you want your circles to be. And then they'll all be kind of different. Let them hang out off the edge, because like we know that one's going to be behind that ear, and that's okay because they're on a vine. So let them just be wild. This is going to be cute. Oh, Lordy. Dog next door barking. You're about to hear a Kai in a minute, maybe. Or maybe he's asleep by now. He's not paying attention. He hasn't made a noise upstairs. So I think he's probably upside down asleep. Although it don't take a whole lot to wake him up. I mean, he's ready to go. But that boy is a mess. We haven't even added detail and I'm loving it. How about y'all? Y'all like this? Y'all are quiet this morning. Y'all need to talk to me. What'd y'all have for dinner last? Oh, speaking of last night, I gotta tell y'all something. Y'all can tell me what you had for dinner, or would y'all do fun? I went to my church's movie night last night. We have a movie night every month. It's super fun. And anyway, we watch all kind of movies. But anyway, I mean, good movies, heartfelt movies, you know. We don't watch, you know, bad movies or anything like that. So no X-rated, no, not X-rated, no R-rated. Of course not X-rated, no. But I meant R. I don't know what I was saying. Like, like that's not even something I watch at home. Like, no. Have no desire for that. But anyway, the we watched a movie last night called it's a Netflix movie. It has Rob Lowe in it, and it's called Doggone. And I'll tell you what, that is the cutest movie ever. It just is so good. Here I am saying it. You may make a wreath this shape. Oh, that's cool. Like a real wreath. That would be cool. I love to make wreaths, but now I don't make I don't do the like I'll put stuff on the grapevine, but I don't make a grapevine wreath. Not this past Christmas. I didn't see the dude this past Christmas. I must have missed him or maybe he wasn't there. I don't know. But Christmas before last, we have a little stand, I guess you would say. It's it's like set up on the side of the road. A guy who sells seafood, and his name is Anderson Seafood, and his seafood is like stellar seafood here. And so this is getting down, of course, into where the pig is going to be a little bit there. So but that's okay. Just kind of like over here, I want stuff because you don't know exactly where his body's going to come in, and so you want it to look like there is the wreath is behind them. So anyway, set up beside him last year at Christmas time was this guy with these massive wreaths. I mean, they were like 3-foot wreaths. They were, I don't know, they were like, I mean, they're huge. They were grapevine with all this natural, like just local, I guess, stuff he found in the woods. I have no idea, or I don't know. But anyway, it had like pods, like little seed pods and different kind of things on it, berries and stuff. It was gorgeous. And I went there to get some crab soup, and I saw him, and I was like, how much are your wreaths? And he was like, $50. I'm like, sold. Sold. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, and I do too. I like him. And so anyway, but it was all on a grapevine wreath. And of course the stuff died, and because it had like cedar and all the like different kind of greeneries and stuff, and so that died. But I still have that wreath, and so I kept the wreath. I'm like, I am not throwing this wreath away. I'm just taking the stuff out of it and I'm keeping it. So we just want to have like little, we're going to just connect our berries. Doesn't have to be very long. We just kind of want to have some connection, especially for these ones that are like hanging out here off of the edge a little bit. We just want to have a little bit of something's holding them there, right? So yeah, it's so pretty, when you make them with the grapevine. But my neighbor is doing some kind of stuff over there with a chainsaw. I don't know what he's doing with the chainsaw, but he's cutting something. These are my new neighbors. I've yet to meet them. I made them something, but I've yet to take it to them. I don't have time. And when I've had time, it's like, I don't think they're home or haven't been home. And so maybe today we'll get over there and say hi. Apparently my other neighbor hadn't had time either because he's the one whose dog was running with their dog. And he said, I did get to meet him finally. He texted me that he had gotten her because I texted him. I'm like, your dog is here in my yard running with the other dog. And I was like, I can't go out and stop him or get her because I'm trying to prep. I'm trying to get ready for my live. And I'm thinking, come get your dog so my dog will be quiet. Come get your dog. Because my dog is quiet in his crate as long as like there is nothing going on that is something, exciting for him. I'm using the same brown. Yes, I'm sorry. I should have said that. I'm using the exact same burnt umber that I used originally to just connect. So I'm using burnt umber. And we're going to work with their berries a little bit more just to get them rounded, just to get them more, kind of in here, but you just kind of want to get them connected. We're going to get our pigs in first before we do that, because what we're covering up, we don't need to work hard on that and then just cover it up, because that's usually what I do. Oh yeah, well, there's all kind of bushes and trees and stuff that you can make great wreaths out of. My dad every year, how stores will have like Lowe's that sells trees, they'll have the trimmings from the tree that they'll give you. My dad every year goes and gets trimmings from the trees that they trim, and he makes wreaths to go on the graves. His mom, my mom's mom, my great aunt, he makes I think in total he makes 4. With 2 of my great aunts, my grandma, and both my grandmas, and he makes wreaths for, and then and puts it on their graves at Christmas time. But all right, let's get our little piglets in here because it's time for those. So we're gonna do something that I call base coating. We're gonna base coat each of our little piglets. We're gonna have the one that's tan, and we're gonna have the one that's kind of white, so they play off each other. We may reverse which one is tan and which one is white. I don't know. Part of me is like, I want to play with it a little more. I want to change it a little more. And so we may just swap those two. But we'll see. For this one, I'm going to use the yellow ochre as an undercoat. And for this one, I am going to use probably the Payne's Gray for an undercoat of this one, but it'll be lightened. And so we will use that, and then we'll come back with the lighter colors to give the definition or the detail. So that's what we're going to do. But I do think we're going to swap it and have this one be the yellow one and this one be the white and black one. I don't know yet. I'll know as soon as I put the first color down. Sometimes it's like I have to think about what I want, So we're going to mix a little white in with that yellow. We don't want it to be quite that yellow. We want it to be a little more on the tanner side. And so I'm just going to grab a palette knife here. I'm like, somewhere I had a palette knife. And we're just going to mix a little white in. Sometimes I'll just use my brush and do it with the brush. It sort of depends. In this case, I want more of that lighter color. And it doesn't matter if it mixes with my brush. Oftentimes when I paint and I have multiple colors like this, I'll just pick up both colors on my brush and let it mix where it will. It really doesn't matter how you do this, but I kind of just did it like that this time. Well, I guess this is going to be our yellow pig because my brush just went right there and did that. So much for switching that up, Amanda. Good job. I want it to be on top, so I'm going to paint right over top of what I have here. His little ear. I'm just making this up now. This part I'm just kind of making up. Oh, he's gonna be cute. Don't worry. We'll cover all of this. That's not a problem. Coming in, this is where that little mouth is. We're just base coating this at this point. We're just getting the basic color down on the canvas. There's no details in this step whatsoever. It's just getting paint on canvas. Hey, Dolores, how are you? Good to see you. It's been a while, girlfriend. How is the weather in Lynchburg? Lynchburg is about an hour away from me too, the other direction. So I've got people who D is about an hour away from me, west of me. Yeah. No, east of me. She's an hour away from me, east of me. And then Sherry is an hour away from me, north of me. And Dolores is an hour away from me, south of me. So makes it fun. All right, we base coated everything except for the eyes, some of the darker areas. That ear is a little darker, but that's okay. We may mix up our darker areas and just have that be a little different. You and me both. We should all get together. We should. You need a little duckling. Well, we did the yellow duckling. We did a yellow duckling, you know. I don't know if you saw that, but we did a little yellow duckling that was like jumping in the water. a little Kai. a little happy duckling jumping in water. So but who knows, maybe that will be the March piece. I don't know. I'm gonna put out some pictures just like I did this month. Okay, a little bit of Payne's Gray that I'm mixing in with some white, and I probably got way too much Payne's Gray there because I don't really want it to be quite that dark. But my black wanted to be all stupid and not work with me, but I'm gonna have to Payne's Gray is not giving me what I want. It's okay, but it's going more to a bluer, kind of like a winter blue color. All right, black cap. You need to come off of here. You need to break loose and come off of here. Clearly, I got paint under there. I'm gonna have to get some pliers or something. Something. I have some pliers. Hold on. Maybe. Somewhere is my pliers. I had them right here in my bin. Of course, when I need them, do I see them? No, because somehow gremlins have took them and put them God knows where. Hold on. I'm not seeing them. Of course. Don't you fall out and break. Oh, here they are. They were just hiding in plain sight, like some things do. Okay. All right, open up just a little bit. Come on, grip a hold. I don't have all day for you to act stupid. There we go. All right. Black. I'm gonna have to clean. I'll clean that before I tighten it up again. Well, at least you've been painting. So that's the important part, is that you have been painting. Because sometimes we get so busy in our lives, we don't have time for it. But I think it's important. That we spend a little time being creative. I know when I'm not being creative, I don't feel like myself. And so I have a tough time feeling like myself when I'm not doing something creative. All right, undercoat. We're going to undercoat our pig. That's a little dark, so I'm going to grab a little white with that and just lighten that up. So we're just putting this base down. Our pig is going to be white, don't worry. And I'm going to grab some white. And this is where their faces are coming together here. I'm just going, I got a big old glob. A big old glob. I don't need that big old glob up on my brush. It's where I just picked up a bunch of white and was trying to lighten this a little bit on the fly. Just gonna paint over all of the little markings on this pig. I'm gonna meet right up against that pig. Again, go right on top with this little ear. Figure out the rest of the pig's like little face there, right? That's his little eyeball. My goodness, just a little bit bigger. Does anybody have any plans for the rest of the day? Doing anything fun for the rest of the day? Hopefully. Or probably will just be playing with Kai and doing the tracer for this and stuff like that. I got a video I have to go and upload from my group. And then I'll just be playing with Kai. We're gonna, I think we're playing frisbee today. We're gonna play frisbee because it's drying up out there. We're gonna put a little foot coming out here. So we want to have a little foot. They're starting to, come through the, and then just the rest of the little piglet right there. Starting to push its way through. They're both trying to go through at the same time, and they've gotten caught up. You've seen animals do that before, like both try to go through the door at the same time and like get stuck. Okay. So we've got our two little pigs. Our two little piglets. So they don't really look like little piglets, but they go, come on. They're coming. I'm going to grab a little bit of that white. And I'm going to grab just a touch of red. Make some pink. And I'm going to grab a little bit of my yellow ochre. Just to kind of bring it down a little bit. Kind of like a flesh tony color is what I'm looking for. So white, yellow, red. You mix those together, you'll get a nice flesh tone color. And I'm just gonna put it in this area of our pig. This little nose. Right now we're just working on base coat. So no detail. We're just putting color on canvas. This one, she's a little slightly in front of that one. Go put it on the nose. I know you're probably like, oh my Lord, what is she doing? What is she doing? She got a hot mess going. We're going to put a little bit, like maybe definitely up in this ear. That ear might be going a different direction. I don't know yet. I don't know what that ear is looking like yet. And we're going to put it on this ear, this nose, I mean. And this nose is behind that nose. They're best buddies. Okay. Now we're going to have some fun. Now we're having a little bit of fun. I'm going to take a little bit of that Payne's gray. And I'm just going to put it in some of these areas that are a little darker. And darken up those areas. Because this is kind of like their skin. And then they have hair on top. They don't really have dark hair and light hair, I don't think. This is kind of like their skin. And this little piggy, she got all kinds of little dark places on her. So I just kind of want to just, no rhyme or reason, the shape, it's just shapes. So you can have all kind of different shapes if you want. We're just making it up. Y'all know I'm the queen of making it up. Okay. We're going to put a little darker on him. Just in a few spots that we have already marked out here. And I'm going to put a little dark over here. His eyes going to be somewhere in there. We'll figure that out. All right. Now we're going to have fun. I'm going to use a wisp brush, grainer brush, rake brush. There's different names for them. They're all the same. They're basically brushes that have, see those little bristles that are missing? This one, they're kind of like funky. But if I put it in a dark spot, you can kind of see how they have like, I don't know. I don't have anything. See, it has like missing bristles. Well, that's what they look like. Little missing bristles. And so I'm going to let them hang out in my water. I should have had them hanging out in my water. It helps if the bristles are damp. You want them to be damp. You don't want them to be wet, like dripping or anything. You just want them to be moist and just kind of wet. I don't know how to describe that. You don't want them to be like, you hold it up and water's just pouring off of them. You don't want that. So you want to tap your napkin just to kind of get the water drops that are going to drop. And then when you load your brush, you're going to load your brush, and we're going to use, I'm going to knock that right over in the paint and make a big old mess. Don't do that again. Let me use the white. And when you load your brush, I'm making a mess. You want to use some water. You do want to use water. You're going to want to use water with this. And when you load it, you're going to just, you want to load it. So when you look at your bristles, put it somewhere dark, that you can see the separation. See how in that middle area right there, you can't see the separation? You're going to want to just touch it until you can see the separation. And when you can see the separations, you've got it loaded okay, and you can go from there. And then it just sort of will be a feel thing at that point. How does it feel? Okay, you have a good day, Cindy. Enjoy that baby shower. And then we're just going to go on top, and we're just going to make little strokes. And at first it's going to kind of blend back into your piece, and that's okay because it's just going to continue to lighten your piece. And that's what you want it to do. That's actually what you want it to do. Because as we add layer upon layer upon layer, it's going to get whiter and whiter, and it's going to look fuzzy, just like our pig looks. Okay, we're good. We're at like an hour. And you're just gonna keep going. It's got that ear bent kind of back there. And we're gonna keep going all over our pig. We're just gonna go over the dark spots. You kind of want to just pay attention to how the hair grows. And you want to just pull the strokes that direction. even at this layer, even when you're going to have more hair going on top of this, because we are going to go over it again, but you want to just keep that hair going the direction it's going. This is just white that I'm working in right now because we've got all this beautiful color underneath. We don't need to worry about the color that we're putting on now. We just need to worry about the white. And if we pull our strokes the right way, it's going to do all the work for us. I kind of lost my eye, but that's okay. I can put that back in. And so on the forehead, you want to pull your strokes back. You want to kind of start to curve as it comes closer to that eye. Before the eye, between the nose and the eye, you want to pull down. Here, you want to kind of pull back. Above the eye, you want to pull kind of up and to the right. And then on the other side, you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to pull to the left. And so the nose, you're going to pull straight back. Get over closer to where this eye is over here. You're going to want to just pull around that eye. And they're fuzzy. The piglets are fuzzy. Again, somewhere over there is an eye. We'll figure out where exactly and get the eye in there in the shape it needs to be. We're not worried about that right now. In the image, it's kind of hard to see that eye. But we're going to put an eye in. Okay. Touch back in your water when you need a little extra water. I'm getting a little too much water there, so be careful of that. When it starts to puddle, it's too much. And where you have little wrinkles, you want to keep that by just doing shorter strokes and then having kind of like this next layer of strokes and then a next layer beyond that. And that's going to create your natural little wrinkles there just by the way you pull the strokes. Leave a little gap and pick up and pull the strokes again. Leave a little gap and pull the strokes down from it. And then we'll just keep those little wrinkles going just the way they are going. If you get a little too much, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's not gonna matter. In the end, it's not gonna matter. You're just gonna work on this little foot, this little leg that's coming down here. This is gonna get a little longer stroke because it's a little smoother in there. Not so much hair on the legs. Okay, that's round one. Now let's go for round two. And curve around that eye. And come up on that ear. Kind of go sideways from that cheek. Gonna go back from that, up that nose. Oh, I think I got paint on the side of my face too. I just am full of it today. Full of paint. That happens quite a bit to me. And a little smoother on this foot right here that's coming through. We'll figure out that foot in a minute. That little fat little leg. Maintaining those little fat little ruffles. This is a healthy little happy pig. Little piglet. She's like, "I'm so cute." Let's get an eye in there because I think she looks a little weird without her eye. And so let's get that in there. I think we'll be a lot happier when we see like her little eyes are here. There's one hanging out over here. And then we have this one here. And I'm just in black right now. I'm just getting in the basic shape and putting in like where her eyeball will ultimately be. We'll worry about everything else, detailing it out in a little bit. We're just getting in basic shape. And I'm going to take a little bit of brown. This is the burnt umber. And I'm going to just work in the nostrils with a little bit of this brown. We're going to start to see this little piglet like take shape. Okay. And then I want to just take a little of this brown and I want to work it in around her lips here. Like her nose is right there. That's kind of where her mouth is, and her nose. And she's kind of got this like little part there. I want to put a little darker. We need this darker so it works with the rest of what we're going to do. And so you got to get this part in there. This is part of her nose. But in order to really get this, the look we want, we've got to have something to work with. And so that's what this dark, that's kind of like why we went in with that darker undercoat of her, because we have to have something to work with. And so that's basically why we're putting this layer down. I have not named my little piglets yet, and I usually always name my animals. So, give me a good name for them. I'm going to go into that same kind of skin tone mix that I was using with a little bit of that white to lighten it just a little bit. I still have this brush, my grainer brush, but I'm going to do extremely short. Extremely short. I'm actually going to switch to the smaller one because I think that'll give me more of what I'm looking for than the bigger one. This is a 1/4 of an inch grainer brush. The other one, no, this is an 1/8 of an inch. I'm sorry, grainer brush. The other one is the 1/4 of an inch one. Honestly, I mean, I ordered the sets off of Amazon, and you can get my link and you can find the ones I ordered. I have the flat and the filberts, and I will tell you the two I use the most are the 1/4 and the 1/8. I rarely ever go any larger. We want to go right over top of these dark lines that we put down. One, we kind of want them just to fade in, but we also just kind of want them to hang out there and do a little bit of a separation for us, but and show us like a wrinkle. And so that's what we're doing. No, but they need a name. Our piglets need a name. All of my animals, you know, we name them all. So y'all got a good name for these little piglets. Let's do one boy name and one girl name because it is February. And Kelly taught us that February is Hallmark is calling it Loveuary. So maybe these two like just kind of love each other, you know. They're just best buds and they love each other. And so let's give one a female name and one a boy name. Of course, they're piglets and they really don't know boy from girl. They really don't know boy from girl. It's okay. So what do we think for a little piglet name? Peggy. Okay, Peggy. That's cute. Peggy the little pig. The little piglet named Peggy. Little Miss Peggy Sue. Mm. Peggy Sue, how are you? Okay. I'm gonna go into a little more white. Pete. Pete and Peggy. Bobby. Okay. So Bobby, Peggy, Pete. I'm liking those names. All fine pig names. We could do Penelope too. That would be cute. Penelope. And see, our little mouth is coming in there. Our little nose is coming in there. I'm going to just do a little bit of pink, some light pink. And drop some white there, pick up a little red. Of course, some gray got mixed in there because I'm losing room on my palette plate. But I actually need a little more white because I want it to be a little lighter. A little lighter. Okay, that's probably close. Grab a little pink with a little bit of that flesh color. I'm just going to come back into this nose and just pink that nose up a little bit because, you know, their noses are like a little pinker. And while I have it, I'm just going to grab some and plop it onto him. Okay. Casey. Oh, that's cute. Casey, that's cute. I like that. All right, we're going to move over here to this one. We're going to let this kind of hang out and dry. And we're going to move over here to this one, and we're going to do the exact same sort of steps. Going to go into that white. Actually, I'm going to swap back to my little bigger brush so we're not here all day long. Make sure it's loaded properly. No little gaps in there so we can see them all. And we're just going to lay white right on top of him too. Even though he's yellow, we're putting this white down. It's going to be fine. He's going to make kind of looking a little pinky. Did I touch in the pink? I don't know. I may have. Okay, let's go back over that. I may have picked up a little bit of pink, a little bit of red in that mix. Pink over. Yeah, I'm gonna put a little pink down on the foot here. I am. I'm definitely gonna do that. A little pink down there. And so I still think I've got pink in my brush. I'm gonna wash my brush out because I'm seeing pink, and I'm not supposed to be seeing pink up on my tan piglet. I am seeing pink. All right, let's go back and cook with some gas here. I'm gonna pull some of this white over here where this yellow is and just go from there. And not risk getting back into that pink. I swear it's looking pink. I'm like, why is it looking pink? I have no pink. There's no pink. Um, I don't see many comments either. No one's talking. If they are, then I'm not seeing anybody talking. Y'all are very quiet right now. Y'all get quiet on me every now and then. And I'm like, am I the only one here? Am I by myself? I might be by myself. I might be by myself. Be all by my lonesome. That would be sad. Because these pigs are too cute to be by their lonesome. And just has some fur going everywhere. It does look like he got a little pink up on his head. I think you are seeing the comments. I think I am seeing the comments. I just think nobody's talking. Everybody's quiet. Y'all lucky I slept good last night, or I could be asleep. Be just like fall asleep. I do think he's cute. I guess this is gonna be our little boy. I don't know. Just make sure when you load your brush, you maintain the separations. If not, just go to your napkin and touchdown, and because if you don't have those separations, you're going to get a big glob. And you really don't want the glob because you want to have the under part show through. And so that's what you're playing off of. Thank you, Brenda. Quiet and watching. Okay. You just being quiet. Quiet is okay. I can talk to myself. Have a business meeting while I'm doing this. Feel like somebody asked me if I'm talking to myself. It's like, nope, I'm having a business meeting. What is it? I'm a soulpreneur and I'm having a business meeting. So straight back from that nose. Pull straight back. These are like the little hairs that I guess fall off. Or I mean, I know pigs have hair because they use pig bristles for brushes and stuff like that. So I know they have hair. But I don't think they're as fuzzy as they are when they're little baby piglets, because they're just super fuzzy. What babies aren't cute, right? Especially in animal world. Animal world babies are so cute. Them little babies are so cute in the animal world. In the people world, well, some babies are cute. And some are. And some, well, I don't know. I won't say they're not cute. They're just not as cute as some others. And just put a few lines, just kind of like we did with the other one. I'm gonna put a few lines up in this nose area here that we're gonna play with. This is just like that little bit of extra skin. We're going to darken out that nose. Oh, this is coming along so good. Every now and then, it's just like you do something and you're like, I like it so much. Thank you, Brenda. I am using burnt umber for those little lines. Yes, I am. Now, for some of these lines, I use the Payne's Gray, but around the nose and for the little tan piglet, I'm using burnt umber. You keep me on the straight and narrow of telling you what color I'm using, because sometimes my brain cells, I get all excited and I forget that I didn't say what I'm doing. And I like to give step by step of what I'm doing so folks know. And the tracer for this is going to be available as soon as this live is over and it's dry, and I pull the tracer from this along with the supplies of what I used. It's $3. It's not very expensive. I mean, I just think it'd be so nice to have a calendar that you can give your friends, your family, even for yourself, that has your artwork in it. And so each month, when you turn that thing to the next month, you get to display your artwork and see your artwork hanging on your wall, which is pretty cool. And I mean, I know you can paint this piece and hang the picture up, but you might want to sell it. But in that way, you can give your artwork to your family and your friends. And printing a calendar these days isn't hugely expensive to do. And so you can do that relatively cheap. Print a calendar. You can go to, I mean, there's many online places that you can use, but you can also go to your local CVS, Walgreens, etc., and print them, have them printed there too. So I'm not liking how I'm not really seeing a lot of the definition here. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of a darker, just a little more of the base coat that we used, which is that yellow ochre and white, and just put in a little darker rim, kind of where I have the brown, but the brown, it kind of just didn't give me all that I want. And so I want to have a little more of that tan color coming in around there. See how that made the difference? And that's looking more like we got the look we got over here. When I came back with the kind of more white over top of that brown, it just kind of muted the brown, but didn't give me like these ridges that I'm looking for. And so to fix that, I just grabbed a little bit of the darker, that base color we came over everything with, and just put down a little bit over top of that dark brown burnt umber line. And now I'm coming back with the lighter that I had put down originally over the burnt umber that I didn't like, and just kind of blending it and letting it move a little bit into that darker yellow. And so that's going to give us more of that look of wrinkles than what we had going. I do too. I'm so glad I kind of had that idea to start it in January and do it. I'm going to clean my brush out because I want all that out. And then we're going to go back another pass of just kind of that white with just a touch of the yellow mixed into it. I want to make sure I don't have pink this time. It's just a very little bit of that yellow ochre mixed in, extremely little bit. Just enough to make it kind of like a warm white instead of a bright white. Like over here is bright white, over here is warm white. It just keeps a little of that kind of warmth in there for this piglet. Okay. I'm going to come in with a little darker in that nose still. But I want to get this, I want to do another coat of this color all around him. And we're going to fix that ear out. Okay, I'm gonna let that chill for a minute, and I'm gonna come in a little bit of that pink mixed with a little bit of that yellow ochre. I'm gonna grab a little bit of red because I want it to be a little darker. Here we go. I'm just gonna come in on this piglet and get him a little darker in this nose area here. This one has a little darker nose than the other one. I'm actually going to pick up a little bit of burnt umber and mix in with that and get it a little bit darker yet. Maybe I should go with my Payne's gray. I don't know. No, this is fine. So this is a little bit of red with a little bit of that burnt umber with some yellow ochre in it. Kind of gets a almost like a little winey cranberry color. We're going to deepen out that nose a little bit there. And so just pop a little bit of this color back into these creases too, because it kind of looks like a little of this color is hanging out in these creases. Just a wee little bit, not a whole lot. Right now it's just water on my brush. I'm just kind of moving what I got down with a little bit of water, smoothing it a little bit. I'm gonna go into a little of that burnt umber and come in and just add additional okay. Now I do see one area where I need a lot of help, because here is where it kind of tucks in behind this one, and it's like, wait a minute, I didn't complete my nose part right there, because this one is kind of, this one's a little bit on top of the other one, but only just slightly on top. And so I need to go back into this one here and just kind of bring her nose up on top of that one. And I want to deepen here. That's where we have to work on their separation of one from the other, because they're kind of like stuck trying to get through the thing at the same time. And so she's determined to win. She's determined to win. She's got her little foot through here, and we're gonna put a little pink down on her little hoof here. We're gonna create a little her little hoof foot here. Don't worry, it won't stay that color. I'm gonna go into a little bit of brown. And she has just one foot, and it's got that little hoof at the end. Okay. I'm just gonna pull up between the two where there's some separation there. And there's her little foot in there. I'm just gonna come in with a little white. And just clean it up. Get it in and then clean it up. And it's just that simple when you can clean it up. She's like, I'm going first, not you. I'm doing it. All right, I got my smaller little grainer brush, my quarter. I'm in that same color that I'm working on him, which is that mix of our base coat with extra white in it. So it's just like a warm white color. If you have warm white in Deco Art and you don't have these colors, that's a great color to use for this. I will tell you, you can do this without a grainer brush, but a grainer brush is something that you should really consider investing in, especially if you really like to do animals, you like to do hair, you like to do any of those things. A grainer brush is something that they're not expensive. Don't go ordering like the most expensive one out there, because there's no reason to. I'm going to add some dark in here because that would be dark on him where she's shadowing some of that. Again, I'm going to go over top of it, but I just wanted to have that dark in there where they're buttoned up against each other there. And so it's a good thing to have. So if you don't have one of these brushes, get you one of these brushes. Order a set. It's like 20 bucks and you get 5 brushes. So it's not a bad deal. I don't use the other ones as much, but there's all kind of things you can do with these brushes. Okay, let's get his eyes in, because sometimes getting the eyes in is the thing that like helps you see the most. And so let's get his eye in here. And then he's going to have another eye hanging out kind of in this area here. You're going to kind of just see it more like this than anything. Something like that. Maybe just a little bit like that. And so we're gonna let him hang out and dry. We're gonna let her hang out and dry a little bit more. We're gonna put a little lighter on his nose though. Let's do that first. And come in here just a little bit and add a little bit of the lighter. Now this is a mix of a little white with that original mix that we had. Of the red with the yellow ochre and white, so it's kind of like a pinky color, but this is just a little more white. So, and we're just gonna put down a little bit more. We want to lighten it, but yet leave some of this darkness in here. And so this is how we're gonna do that. And it's showing up really bright red on the camera. It's not really that bright red in person. It's a little on the redder side, probably than the picture, but it's not really that bright in person. So you can take your finger and you can rub that in a little bit and you'll lighten it overall too. So, all right, we've got another, like, well, when I get all excited and I throw my paintbrush all up in the paint, y'all know it's getting exciting in the house. Oh, okay, Amanda. Just make a big old mess. All right. Let you just hang out there and get all happy in the water. I'm gonna pull out my bigger one. All right, white. Back into just pure white. Again, I want to make sure my grainer brush, I can see all of the little separations. You see that? And then we're going to go back and we're just going to do another little hit or miss on her. Okay, that's all we're doing. We're just going to go back on her and just a few little, just to brighten. What's my time looking like? Okay, right at 2 hours. All right, we're cooking with gas because we're almost done. Again, we're just going to go back with a little bit of white. Go over top of all these little wrinkles. Just kind of like we did before. We're just hitting or missing though. We're not like, just keep those little wrinkles in check though. By skipping and just pulling down. The more of this you do, Now on her foot, don't do too much of the wild little, like, just kind of like just do long and stretch it on down, because this is going to be smoother than the rest of her. So, but the more of these you do and the more time you take in doing them, the fluffier she's going to look and the more realistic she's going to look. And so just don't wipe out your little wrinkles. Keep, keep that gap. And in here, keep that gap. And you'll be, you can just keep layering and layering and layering, and it's not going to hurt anything. You'll get to a saturation point where, it basically doesn't go anywhere. And that's when you kind of know, like, all right, I'm kind of done. Again, over here, we're going to do the same thing with him. We're going to hit him with some white again. Something right there. We're just going to be careful about, the direction that hair is growing. The nose it goes back on. It kind of leans to the right, over the right side of his eye. On his right side, it leans to the left over here on this side. You got to put pink in that ear. Keep your strokes short, because they don't have like really long hair, but they are fuzzy. Again, where it's all bunched up and you got all these little wrinkles, just keep those little wrinkles going. Okay. Now what we want to do is I'm gonna go into a little bit of that pink mixture. I'm gonna pick up just a tad of brown, kind of like we did on the nose. I'm gonna put a little bit of that hanging out in this ear right here. Just gonna put a little bit hanging out in that ear. Okay. And then we're going to go back over that with our greener brush and just pull some strokes from the ear and just pull into up from the bottom and over, just to make it a little fluffy. Okay, now we're going to work on the eye for a minute, and we're going to go back to our berries. Now for the eyes, we've just coated them black at this point. And so what we want to do is we want to take a little bit of that black, make up some gray, kind of darkish gray. Black is our darkest color, so anything lighter than that is going to show. And we're going to just do we're just going to come around the eye. Might need it to be just a little bit lighter. Now she has all kind of little colorations around her eye, and if you want to put those in, you can just kind of come in and do little teeny tiny strokes with your little brush and just kind of work those into. Don't cover the white up completely, but you can, add these in if you want to, just by doing little things like that, and you can get her to have her cute little face. and that coloration around that eye. And if you want to go a little darker, you can go a little darker. But keep these as like little teeny tiny hairs. Even though they're not technically hairs and her hair is growing over top of these markings. But by keeping it looking like the hair, you will still have some of that white going on top. And that's kind of, even though it's technically not on top, but it's showing through. It'll still have that same effect, but you can add in these little like colorations in there just by doing that. We've kind of got it underneath of there, and that's kind of fine the way that's poking out. But if you want to just accent it a little bit more, you can do it just like that. If you get too much, just pick your grainer brush up and throw a little white hairs right on top of that. That's all you have to do. All right, now for the eye itself, I'm just going to get a little gray, and I'm going to just outline. I'll put just an outline on that eye on the bottom and partial of the top. It's okay if it's a little thick and if you came into your eye a little bit, because we're going to go right into that black. And we're going to go right over top of. We're not taking out the whole eye, the gray part, but we're just going to come back and firm up that eye, like the pupil in the eye and all of that. Of course, it goes from side to side. You're not going to see any white in their eye. You can grab a little white and just kind of tap in a little bit of white. And just knock it back with your finger. That's just a little bit of a fix that a little bit. I got that a little bit too wide there when I went back the second time. And then you just tap that in a little bit. And then that way it kind of gives it a little shape, and it gives it a little like kind of start to a sparkle. Got a little black here. And I want to outline part of the eye. I kind of went above my little gray line right there, just easily above it. And then I'm going to go into white. And at this point, I'm just touching. Come along that bottom. Got it a little thick there in that corner, so I'm going to go back into a little bit of black. I'm just going to knock this part back a little bit. And there's his eye. Give her some lashes. We kind of did that when we put that line above, but we'll do it again. We'll give her some lashes. They do have eyelashes. I mean, we don't want her to look like she got falsies on. But we're just going to take a little white. We're just going to tap in a little white in her eye. You want to be careful with this. You don't want to overdo, but you don't want to just do a single dot either, because sometimes that makes them look a little bit on the meaner side. But you don't want this sweet little thing looking mean. So you want to be careful. But then you can get too many, just like I got, and you need to go and knock that back a little bit there. Because she's supposed to be all about love, right? So we don't want to make her not be about love. She's having fun with her little buddy. We're going to do the same thing with this side over here, but not as much, because this one's going to be kind of hanging out more in the shadows. So you just want to, just a little bit. You don't have to get as detailed. On these eyes that are like here, we don't have to get as detailed. Just a little bit, just to say there's an eye there. And that it's rounded. And you're pretty much good on that. And then for him, we're going to do the same thing, except for first off, I'm going to go into brown. And I'm just going to come in and I'm going to give him a little brown around his eyes here. Oftentimes animals have darker areas around their eyes. And I'm just putting in a little bit, kind of like we did this one over here, just a little bit of darkness around his eyes. Again, I'm making it skippy because I want it to just kind of work with the fur that we put in. But, you know, if you get too much or if you don't like it, just knock it back with the little grainer brush. Just go in your white and knock it back a little bit. This is with the burnt umber. And you put this little patch in over his eye if you want to. It's got a little like kind of matching hers to some degree. And so we're going to put that there. And then I'm just going to go and I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to come up here with the brown. In the picture, it's more black, but I'm going to put a little more brown up in here above the side, kind of out from that eye. I'm just touching, dragging my brush, just leaving little spots, kind of. Again, if you want, and I think I'm going to do that for this one. Hers, it seemed to blend in a little bit better than his. I probably needed to add a little water to my brush that I didn't have. And I'm just gonna greener, a little white. I want white, I do not want gray. Kind of that warm yellow or warm white that we use. Sorry, not yellow, warm white. Which is just a lot of white with a touch of that yellow ochre. And I'm just gonna go back over these, pulling in the direction that we were pulling. And just let them knock back just a little bit. There we go. Knock it back just a wee little bit. Doesn't have to go back far, but just a little bit. Might even do that just a little bit on her, just so the hair is on top. All right, now his eye, we're going to do the same thing. Gray, I'm going to outline it on the bottom, partially on the top. We're going to go into that black. We're going to just recoat the eyeball, cleaning up any, if we have wider lines than we meant to have. Darkening that part. Do the same thing over here. We're going to darken his eye. Go into that gray. Just go a little bit at the bottom. Now I want to stop before I get out there on that edge because his eyeball is actually like protruding just a little bit. You're actually not seeing his full eyeball. You're only seeing partially of his eye socket, and then it's kind of just protruding a little bit because of the angle he's at. So we don't want to go all the way. You just kind of want to stop a little bit right where it starts to curve up. Just like pause just before that, and you'll be fine. Oh, thank you, Sherry. And we'll give him a little bit of a lash. Maybe not as long as her lashes, but just a little bit. We'll give her a little lash over here too. This little lash just kind of comes up and just kind of goes like that. And then over here, just kind of got a little lash going there. And we're gonna go a little white, a little gray, really light gray. I'll just pop it in this eye. Touch it with your finger and knock it back a little bit. We're also gonna do that, but out here, kind of on this edge. Don't go all the way to the edge. Leave a little bit of the black there showing on the very edge, and just tap, tap, tap that one also with your finger. And then I'm going to go into white. I'm just going to touch. Just kind of touch where you put those little, where you kind of knocked it back. Just kind of touch again in that area, but don't take up the whole space. And we can put a little sparkle in his eye that makes them have a little life, and they're coming together with a little bit of life there. Okay, now we're going to go to our little berries. I'm going to use a little bit of this pink and white and red, and we're just going to have fun with our berries. We're going to put a little sparkle on them. Again, just have fun with it. Don't fret about all of the like, oh, where do I put it? Just dab it where it makes sense to you to have it. You know, just so we have a little bit, and then we're going to go into a little bit of that alizarin crimson or a darker red. It doesn't matter if you have like a burgundy, you can use that. But we want to just go into a little darker also. You can see I'm just pretty much being very random with it. Like it's based on where the sunlight is hitting it or whatever light. Let's turn it into a sweet little painting. Again, just touch them. Doesn't matter. Find a spot, touch it. Now I'm going to go into a little of that Glycerin Crimson, which is the darker color. And I'm just going to come in and do kind of the same thing, just on the other side. Just go kind of round them out. And they're going to start to look like they are round. Find the dark side. If it's not flowing, add a little bit of water. If you're using the heavier bodied paints like I'm using, you'll want to just touch into a little water. That helps with flow. And I'm just kind of like where I have the light side, I'm just going on the opposite side. So where that light is there on there, I'm just going to the opposite side. And I'm just putting a little bit of a darker and rounding it out. And that's going to make it look like they're round. Your eye is going to read it as round, even though you might have not followed any of the rounding rules. It's okay, because they're small and your eye is going to do the work for you. When you look at it, your eye is going to just fix it. Now, if somebody was critiquing this, it would not be right. And you would get dinged for it. But since nobody is critiquing it and they're just looking at it for the sweet painting that it is, it's going to be just fine. A little more water. If you start to like, in order to get it to flow off your brush, you end up like with lots of paint on your brush, and you just need to incorporate a little bit of water with your paint so it comes off of your brush. Oh Lordy, the mail truck. And little boy heard that. Until that little blob of water runs down your brush. Don't let that happen. But yes, I hear you, Kylie. He's like, the mail truck is here and I must bark. I don't know why the mail truck gets him going, but the mail truck gets him going. Like, my other boys could care less about the mail truck. Like, literally could care less. Like it's not worth barking at. Okay. He's like, I must tell Mom that the mail truck is here. Settle. Okay. We're almost done. This has been a long one, guys. This has been a long one, but I knew this was going to be a long one when it was picked. I knew it was going to be a long one. So if you want to put a little frost, because in our picture we had a little frost, the thing I would do for that is I would pick out like something like a mop brush. This is actually called a scrumbler, but if you had a mop brush or something like, what is this? This is a This is a mop brush. A little big, but I think I'll go back to this little scrumbler. It doesn't matter. Just some fluffy little brush that you can just get a little damp, get the bristles a little damp, touch down into your white. I would just work it on a paper towel and then just pick some and just touch down on top of them. Don't do them all, but you can just touch down on a couple of them and give them just like that little, like I held on to a little bit of frost. And frost them out. Again, you want to tap down onto a, you're not going to want to just load your brush and then just come over. You're going to want to tap down onto like a paper towel. And then just tap down on a few of them. And that will like frost them out. And then if you wanted to, you could use some water, lots of water. You want it inky, your burnt umber. And then you could just put in like a few, like just a little bit of like a little viney sort of little frilly things. If you just wanted to have this little extra, because you know sometimes we like to be extra here, so just a few. I would just make them very random, have them go in different directions, just you know. Don't do them all the same. As soon as I say that, I seem to do them all the same. So there is that. So, you know, like, but just something like that. You're welcome. And then for just the final, I would just darken this down here a little bit. Maybe just have, you know, like, just grab a little bit of that hooker's green and just, you know, come in and just, or maybe even with the sponge, that sponge might be the better way to do this. And then just kind of put a little bit of dark in there. There. I think we are done. It's been a long one, but I think we're done. Yay. Yay. Oh, thank you for sprinkling the love, Sherry. I'll get that, your name entered in there. You like it better without the dark? The dandelions would be cute in that. I don't know. You didn't have to put the dark. Make sure I'm spelling your name. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. I was like, I think it was a Y in there. I just had to double check that. But yeah, I think it's cute. And so what I would do with this is I would paint the sides with the dark green, which is that hooker's green. And I would do my little frame with that hooker's green also. So and then that way you kind of pull the piece all together. But there we go. And if you wanted to just soften this and it not look quite so, and the idea is to give some indication like there's some grass or something there, but we didn't really complete the little piglets' bodies, so I didn't want to get it too we just kind of like put them in a frame. But anyway, have them coming through. But you have a good weekend too. And I'm gonna turn this up and say bye for now. So here we are. This month's calendar piece. I think it's super cute. And you can decide whether you want that or whether you just wanted to leave it light. If you want it Pete and Petunia, that's cute. Pete and Petunia, that's cute. Maybe Pete and Petunia will be their names. I like that. So they're fighting over who's gonna get through that heart first. Anyway, I hope y'all love it. I hope you do it. I think it's super cute. Little piglets. Anyway, y'all have a great rest of your weekend. I will not be live on Monday. I actually have to be up in Northern Virginia on Monday for a meeting, but I will be live on the Pink Pixie page on Tuesday, the 21st. And then I'll be live back on my page on Wednesday, the 22nd. I don't know if I'll come live tomorrow. I have a box I really am dying to unpack and show y'all all the goodies. I won't do it today because this live has already been way too long, but I will maybe do it tomorrow or just wait until Tuesday or Wednesday. Anyway, all right, well, y'all have a great rest of your weekend. I hope you love her. I hope you love them. We'll just call them Pete and Petunia, the little piglets. And so in our little heart wreath, Irene, if you're still here with me, I hope you love it. And so I saw you'd hopped on, but I don't see you. But anyway, all right, I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a great rest of your weekend. Bye.